The News and You, a prepper perspective for November 8th. What's in the news and how does it affect you when you're prepping? Lest we forget, this is a crosswalk. I've seen a few of them around in the news. This one is from Cochrane, Alberta, and it's awesome. This is a fantastic crosswalk. Something that could be there year round. Alberta proud, Canada proud, should be world proud. We have to remember the past. As many wise people say, look to the past to see the future. And for prepping, it's about studying, looking at history, what's happened in the past. Even if they say, if you don't agree that things go in cycles or are totally predictable, as they also say, it may not be exact, but at least it rhymes. So look at lessons learned. Do this in anything you do. If you ever have an event that you experience, an exercise you do, a test, training exercises, things like that, always do lessons learned after, even if they're very brief, very quick. It's not, you can't just note things. You can't say, yeah, we captured lessons learned from that. You haven't learned it unless you've proven that you've taken steps to make changes to avoid those mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't make them twice, kind of deal. We have to continually improve. So this is fantastic. Former TD employee distributed client info. This article said that someone who had worked in the anti-money laundering group at TD was distributing confidential client information that then allowed them to be compromised. Lessons learned from this: what clearance do your key positions need? Do you have, a lot of places do background checks when you're first hired. That's great, but that's table stakes. That's kindergarten stuff. You have to look at all of the different positions within your company or even within your group. What kind of clearances do they need? Do they need additional security clearances? What about? I used to work with a group where we were working for a municipality, trying to figure out how do we classify our different documents. Confidential, classified, secret, top secret. And then we said, okay, well, what are the clearances of the people who are going to make these determinations? You can't look at a document and say, yeah, this is definitely secret if you yourself don't have secret clearance or higher. And all of the things. I had worked for a group. There was a new facility they had built, and world class facility. And there was people wanting to come to see it from all over the world. So we said, okay, well, what clearances, what background checks do we have to do on the people that are coming? And once we implemented it, because it was international, you had to get, the RCMP or CSIS or different groups involved to do that kind of international check, Interpol, all of that stuff. And we actually found a few people on the list that wanted to tour our facility, our new cutting edge facility, that were on terrorist watch lists. So you have to check this stuff. It happens all the time. National and international. And that was, there's water examples, there's electrical examples, all kinds of different classified secret facilities, may or may not be secret, that what kind of measures do you have in place for people that want tours, for people that want access to what you've done or your own company? Look for that. Insider threats is a huge, huge threat, and it happens all the time. It's basically the honor system we put people on. Very rarely have I seen solid measures within a company to do additional security checks. If it's part of the position, you got to have that in there. Are people, do they have gambling addictions? Do they have lots of debt? Do they have ties with criminal organizations, terrorist organizations? Could they be influenced by other countries? All those things have to be considered. 43 monkeys escaped from a research facility. Well, this is straight out of the movies. Residents were told to lock their doors and windows. The company claims the monkeys were too young to carry disease, and that doesn't matter anyways because they were never used for experiments. So they were at an experimental research facility, but not used for experiments. Were they about to be used? Were they companion monkeys, support monkeys for the other monkeys who were used? The next outbreak, pandemic, or zombie apocalypse can start right here This happened here in North America. Toronto company CEO kidnapped. So the CEO of a crypto company was kidnapped in downtown Toronto and released after a $1 million ransom was paid. Again, the lessons. It can happen here. What do you do for your executive, your CEOs? Do you have um, kidnapping insurance? Do you have kidnapping prevention and response plans? Do you have core data on your executives? Do you have their fingerprints, blood samples, DNA samples? If someone says, "Yeah, we've got your CEO," how do you demand proof of life? You pay the ransom and then find out they've been killed? If you don't have fingerprints, pictures, all of these things, what do you do for their travel? Do you have a policy or procedure where no more than one or two executives or board members can travel together? Do they follow it? I've seen quite a few companies where, yep, they've got the procedure or the policy, but nobody follows it. They all pile into the same car together, get on the same plane. Total disregard, total circumvention of the controls that you put in place. Do you have security? What measures do you take? I have personal examples of doing sweeps for bugs or bombs or things like that in places you wouldn't expect, and you find them. You gotta think this stuff will happen. You got to be ready for it. Many hands make light work. This is just a fun way to end this video. I saw this picture and I thought, that's awesome. Look at that, a four-armed football player. He's going to be awesome. Seriously though, try and get others involved in your prepping. It's a tough road to hoe sometimes, and you don't get a lot of support. In what we do, but family, friends, a community of like-minded individuals goes a long way to helping you stay the course with that when it's possible. I mean, you can go it alone, the classic lone wolf strategy, but it won't be the easiest and it won't be the most fun. So grow some extra arms and keep prepping.